Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day and making some really good trades. And yeah, so this video is just going to be about when to buy and when to sell, right? Just like the basics, like when to enter a position and when to exit it, right? So you're never like holding it for too long. And if you're, especially when you're using leverage, there's funding fees associated with that, meaning when you use leverage, you are borrowing money. So you do have to pay interest on that borrowed money. So we want to like be able to maximize our gains without using paying too much funding fees. So let's just get into it, right? So basically, you always want to enter a position in an area you want to enter from a position of strength, I'd like to say, right? So from right here would be a position of strength. Another one could be right here, right? Depending on if you're longing or if you're shorting, right? So if you're longing, you could long around this area. That would be really good. Or you could long around this area as well, expecting a bounce, right? But you need to set proper risk management. As I have said in my risk management video, you want to set some stop losses just in case it does end up breaking down. Then you're stopped out and you're out of your trade. So basically, I would enter around areas of support, expecting a bounce, and sell around areas of resistance, right? So let's take, for example, a trade that I did recently. And I believe it was this one right here. We're just going to take a look at it. Yes, okay, so it was this trade right here. So I believe that I entered my trade around this area right here, the 32,000. I'm not sure. I think it was around this area. Entered my trade. Oh, it was on Ethereum actually. But basically, we'll just take a look at Bitcoin because it was basically the same chart, the same price action. So I entered around this area, right? The $34,000, $32,000 area. And when we look at this chart right here, the $31,000 area was where the support was, right here. This is where the support was. And I entered it a little late, I will admit. Maybe I should have placed an order around this area, right? And then we had a nice bounce from here, and we went all the way up to like hit the resistance level at $40,000, right? So it will start to go up, and I believe I exited my position around the $39,000 area, or for Ethereum it was around $2,600, I believe. I'm not sure. It was a couple days ago. I don't remember every trade. I do enter a trade every now and then. So that's basically where you want to buy and sell, right? Just to keep it simple, that's what you want to do. You want to buy in at areas of support with proper stop losses, right? So let's take a look back here, right? If we go back here, and it started, you saw Bitcoin breaking down and it broke support. Okay, it starts to break down. What's your next buy area? Like, where are you buying next? Well, I would buy at my next area of support, which is exactly right here, right? So once Bitcoin broke the $46,000 level and it fell down another 9%, then I would have set some orders around this area expecting a bounce. All right, it bounces, it goes back up, it starts to get weak again. All right, around even being near the area of resistance or near the area of support, that's where you want to enter and exit your trades. So I would place an order around the $42,400 to $43,200 area. I think I was I placed it at $42,100, which was a little too greedy, and I actually then did not end up getting my order filled on that day, and ended up going back up 8%. So I missed out. I usually used 10 leverage, so I missed out on an 80% gain right there, and I would have exited around this area. All right. So that's basically how you do it, and you never, I would not hold on to trades for too long, especially because of the funding fees. Some people like to hold it on for a very long time. That's just their personal decision. But yes, like let's say I entered around this area and I exited around like this area. 17%. Okay, I only made 150%, but everyone else that held it got to make an additional 5 to 4%. Yes, I missed out on that 5 to 4%, but at the same time, they had to pay a couple days worth of funding fees. We can take a look at here how many days this was. So if you entered around here, I think this was this day. So you 1, 2, 3, 4 days of funding fees. Depending if you exited your position here, there, or here. Even if you starts to break down and you see that's breaking down, you exit your position, you still have to pay the funding fees. Funding fees on Bybit are charged every 8 hours, right? And they fluctuate. So you never want to hold your position for too long, especially when it's on leverage. I mean, this is what I recommend. So now that, like for example, a potential trade that I could be taking is, now that we see that Bitcoin is breaking down from this rising wedge, it went back up to try and retest, and it failed to even retest there because it's not strong enough. I believe we could be heading back down in the coming days and possibly retesting the 31,000 to $29,300 level, and maybe bouncing back up from there again. It's very possible that we consolidate around this area for now as Bitcoin decides where it wants to go. We could obviously take a look at the market cipher, the indicator, and it's showing that the bulls are starting to get strength. The bears are starting to get strength again. The bulls are starting to get weak on the daily time frame, and then we could look at the 12-hour, 8-hour, and you always want to start on a larger time frame and then work your way down, where could be a good entry position. And yeah, you always want to enter at an area of strength. Like, let's say I missed my entry, right? I missed my entry around this area and it starts to go up and it's halfway there. I would not enter my trade, to be honest. Sometimes I might rush into a trade, but doesn't mean I'm making a good decision. I'm not always right? But I don't usually do that. Because the risk that you're taking now is that you're expecting it to go up 10%, right? Even though it's already gone up 16%. So how much are you really expecting out of this trade? Because now that you're entering late, the potential of it reversing and not actually reaching a target is increasing the later you enter a trade. So let's say you're entering here, your risk is extremely high, because now you could see that it did go back down 5%. So if you're using 10 leverage, that's a 50% loss, right? And you would definitely been stopped out if you're using a stop loss. So you always want to enter at an area of strength. So if you're shorting, I would have shorted at this. You could see that the Carl from the Moon was talking about this head and shoulders pattern. If I was shorting and I saw that it was getting rejected again, this is where I would have entered my short, maybe at the 40,100, and then probably just held it as it went down, right? But I was at work, so I did not enter my short. Now I believe that we could be going back down to maybe the $32,000 levels, right? But I'm not in my short right now because it could always reverse. There's always a potential reversing, and right now the risk is getting too high for me. So I'm just gonna wait this one out, and if we do reach these levels, I might enter a long position and expect a bounce. I'm not just looking at support and resistance. I'm taking all sorts of factors into consideration. The RSI, I'm looking at market cipher, I'm looking at the EMA ribbons. If we could take a look at what happened. Maybe that we bounced off an EMA ribbon on the larger time frames. On the 4-hour, yep, looks like we got rejected from the 4-hour, and we're probably going to head back down maybe to $31,000. So you always want to take a look at the bigger picture, not just look at the 1 minute chart and see what you can catch there, because you look at this. How can you trade this? This is extremely difficult to trade. I mean, maybe you can trade it, but I would not personally do it, because look at that, 0.65%. On the 1 minute chart, really, what can you can't make that much on the 1 minute. Maybe you can, but I don't trade on the 1 minute. That's not my style of trading. I usually enter in on 1 hour and 4-hour candles. But I always take into consideration all time frames. All time frames are relevant. Yeah. So anyways, this was just maybe maybe we'll make this part 1 of the buy and sell tutorial. Maybe I'll make a part 2. We'll see. If you guys like the video, please leave some comments, like and subscribe. The support's amazing. We're actually at 271 subscribers now. Awesome, just awesome. Anyways, you guys have a good night. Peace.